What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we have a Total War Warhammer 1 vs 1 custom match for you, where I am facing off against my buddy Magic Potato, and we are using the Steel Faith Overhaul mod. That is just a super cool mod. It has lots of changes to the balance of the game. It gives some additional winds of magic. It it just has cost changes, and overall, I mean, it's just a really fun mod to mess around with and try some different things. There are some extra units as well as unit, model count changes. There's additional things like, for example, we've got Juggernaut here on these Black Orcs. It gives gives them the ability to not be knocked back. It gives them a lot more mass, and so there's just a lot of fun changes. It works, in multiplayer as well as single player. It is just great mod to have. Additionally, you'll see that we have went with a Subterranean battle. So this is a super cool map, and we rarely get to try these narrow maps like this. So I thought it'd be thematic to have the Dwarves versus the Greenskins in one of these underways. So for my army here in the front, you'll see I've brought 3 groups of Black Orcs. They've got 52 armor-piercing weapon strength, and they definitely should be able to, crack open the armor of those Dawi. Over here on the flank, I've got a Goblin Big Boss on a Spider. I always like to bring one of those. Additionally, I have got the 2 Goblin Rock Lobbers. Now, those big rocks don't care how much armor the Dwarves have got. They'll smash down, they'll destroy any Dwarf units that I figure might be clumped up in this narrow match. Here for my main lord, I brought Grimgor Ironhide. I always love to bring him against the Dwarves. He's very hard to snipe out, he does armor piercing, and he is definitely a match for any Dwarf Lord they may bring. Here in the back, you'll see we've got the Warlord's Boys. We've also got 2 groups of Orc Biggins. Those I was hoping would be able just to get in there and do a bunch of armor-piercing damage also. And I mean, with the Goblin Archers, they can sync up with the Rusty Arrows, and hopefully we'll be able to cut through these Dwarves like butter. Finally, for this Orc Shaman, you see we have brought we've brought Power of the Wall, which improves his recharge rate, as well as Fists of Gork, and here we go. Now you'll also see that there is a miscast chance on these spells. That's 25%. That is typical of most spells in this Steel Faith Overhaul mod, and it really does add, I mean, since there is more winds of magic, it does add kind of a downside to casting so many spells. Over here, you'll see I've got hidden in the forest some Goblin Wolf Rider. I was hoping maybe that he would walk past and bring some cannons or something that I could jump on from behind. If not, I'll just go ahead and try to use him to slam into the back and cause leadership problems. Here for Magic Potato's army, he has brought a Runesmith as well as Grombrindle, the White Dwarf. Now it is always cool to see Grombrindle. He has no fear, and he is definitely, look at that, 510 armor-piercing weapon strength. And if someone's going to take on Grimgor one-on-one, it would definitely be Grombrindle. Here in the back, he does have 2 groups of Quarrelers. He's protecting those with this group of Longbeards. He's got some Longbeards with great weapons, Longbeards, great weapons, Longbeards. So he's got that 5 Longbeard front line. And those Longbeards, I mean, they don't have the armor piercing. They've got pretty high weapon strength at 41. They've got tons of armor. Look at that, 123 armor. And look at their leadership at 106. So these guys are buffed up. But these Great Axe Longbeards, they'll definitely have some armor piercing, and they should be able to help crack the armor of some of those frontline Black Orcs. Here in the back, you'll see he has brought a cannon. It's got a ton of range. It's just should be able to do a bunch of damage, and with my units all clumped up, those cannonballs should be busting through lines. So before I talk forever, let's go ahead and get this battle started. So right off the bat, you'll see that he is starting to use those Quarrelers to fire at these Goblin Wolf Riders. Now I did not realize that he could see me, so the first thing I have to do is get out of the way right off the bat. You'll see here that I am starting to march my army forward. I didn't realize we'd be so far away. It looks like he's set up pretty far near the back, but that is definitely going to help me, because once I've got him trapped in this corner, these Rock Lobbers, if you look here, we've got some pretty high ground up here. We've also got high ground over here. So these Rock Lobbers should be able to get into range, and they should be able just to rain hell down upon these Dwarven units. You'll see here that we are just continuing to move forward, and I have decided to bring out the Goblin Wolf Riders, and I just want to see what's going on here. I want to see if possibly I can get in here and get this cannon. So I'm just going to try to micro these units around. I'm going to try to keep them in this valley. I'm going to capitalize on the dwarf slowness. I'm going to see if possibly I can bring this unit right here and slam them into this expensive cannon and just really throw the dwarf player Magic Potato off his game. Since these units here are still moving in, we'll go ahead and zoom in over here and watch this. Now, he does see this coming, and he gets this group of Longbeards right in here. He is able to intercept these Wolf Riders, and I was starting to take some heavy damage. But you'll see, like, unlike the Wolf Riders in the typical game, these Wolf Riders are not awful. So they were able to have a little bit of you know, staying power. Not enough. You'll see here they're broken. There's only 30 remaining. I did try to get them to slam onto this cannon, but I was not able to do much. And look at that. They're down to, I mean, they're pretty much, that's it. They're broken. They're down to 17 models, and I mean, that was just a failed charge from behind. And look at this. You'll see he's continuing just to keep this strong dwarf box together. He does have this runesmith in here, so all of his units are pretty much going to be benefiting from the power of those runes. And I mean, this is just, I've got to crack this open. Luckily for me, you see I'm finally in range. I have managed to get my Goblin Big Boss over here. I'm trying to charge him into the back. I figure something has got to get in there and take this cannon offline. But other than that, you'll see these Blackworks have engaged. Now these Longbeards are going to be no match for these Blackworks. You'll see additionally that I have popped the WAAAAAAGH, which gives 40 melee attack. So these guys have 80 melee attack. And you'll see that it is very noticeable. Even though we've got the Runesmith back here popping the Rune of Negation. He's got the Rune of Oath and Steel. These units are going to start to take heavy damage from these Blackworks. Especially this one over here. Look at that Fist of Gork. It's giving them 114 melee attack, and these Longbeards went down to half health almost instantly. Additionally, if we take a look from up here, you'll see these units of Rock Lobbers are both starting to fire in. So they're going to be just slamming here, and look at that. They're just landing here within the midst of the enemy, and any chance I get, I'm going to be trying to aim them at clumped up units. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, they are landing right in the back of these Longbeards with great weapons. I'm finally going to go ahead and try to bring this Big Boss. I had to run him off because he was starting to get trapped. But you see here in this valley, we have trapped. We've got the Warlord's Boars here lined up. We've got these Orc Biggins. And, I mean, this unit of Quarrelers is obstructed, I think. You know, these two units of Longbeards and this group of Slayers, which I forgot to mention earlier. Look at that. It's already leveled up to a Silver Chevron, I think. I mean, they're still going to have a hard time over here with the Warlord's Boys applying that armor sundering. Here in the main battle, you'll see that I've continued to pop now. I've got Here We Go going, and this is going to cause, you know, these Blackworks. I mean, look, they've still got just a ton of attack. I mean, they're just, I mean, look at that. These guys have got 21 kills. These ones have 32. And these Longbeards are just not going to withstand the full-on attack, you know, from these Blackworks. Additionally, you'll see the Shamans in here. We've got the Biggins in here. We've cast Fist of Gork on them now. And I'm just using that spell as much as I can to really buff up any unit that I feel is facing a group of Longbeards that I can take down. Over here on the left, you'll see here that there is another group of Longbeards, which is, you know, pretty full in health. But luckily, I'm starting to... Oh, wow, look at that. That landed right in the midst of those Quarrelers. So, I mean, these Rock Lobbers are here in the back. And, I mean, even though that one's obstructed, this one's still fresh and eager. And, I mean, they're gonna continue to have an effect on this battle. If we take a look from the top here, you'll see that the Dwarven army is down to 183 to my 523, and the balance of power is starting to skew in my favor. So this unit of Longbeards back here has broken off this Goblin Big Boss, and definitely if Magic Potato wants to pull this one out, he's got to take down my leadership here. But unfortunately, it looks like Grombrindle has taken huge amounts of damage. I mean, we've got the Rusty Arrows in here, and we've got them on melee mode. I mean, they've got him poisoned. These groups of Biggins will get in here with Fist of Gork, And I mean, I was just casting that left and right all over the place. Every big time I got a chance to put it on a big group of units. I mean, look at that. With that, look at that damage they've got. They've got 127 melee attack. They've got 53 weapon strength. I mean, they are cutting through anything they touch. And if you look here, Grombrindle, I mean, he's got the rune axe. He's got a lot going on. Look at him spinning. But I mean, he's only got 500 health left. And every swing takes him a little bit closer to going down and just taking the rest of this Dwarven army with him. Look at that. You see the Quarrelers are shattered off. I mean, Grombrindle here, he's got 300 health. And we're going to charge in. Look at... Oh, man. I'm doing my best. Oh, he is... look at that. He's got all of those runes on him. He's got 200 health. And he is actually managing to get away. Look at that biggin chase after him. And at this point, it looks like those rock lobbers are still firing in. But, I mean, they are doing more harm than good at this point. I probably should move them forward because, I mean, they are going to... Since there is such a low... I mean, there is only 54 units on the enemy team. I don't... Look at that. I mean, they're still getting a few kills here. But, I mean, they're likely to hit their own units and cause a huge amount of damage. Right here, you see Grombrindle's down to 180. He is spinning. He is twirling. He is fighting. But I mean, he's down to 65 and now down to, and he is gonna, oh, look at that. And he is just cut down, not even by a lord, just by an average biggin. And that is pretty much gonna be it. That was just a great game to Magic Potato. I really love doing the Steel Faith. It allows units to hang on a little bit longer. It definitely spices up the game. And even though we didn't really bring any this time, there are definitely a bunch of fun units that really help out the game as well that are added. Now, if you look here at the post-game wrap-up, we do have Grimgor Ironhide was taken out. Now, Grombrindle and Grimgor had a pretty big fight, and I mean, Grimgor was taken out. Grombrindle does a huge amount of damage. It happened so quick that I wasn't even really able to show it. Here, you'll also see in the back line that Goblin Big Boss was taken out. So, I mean, his Slayers, and I mean, the units he had there, he had a bunch of these Longbeards with great weapons. They were able to take out a bunch of my leadership, but lucky for me, I did still have this Orc Shaman. I think had I lost this Orc Shaman, I probably would have lost the match. Although I did do a huge number of kills. He only had 39 remaining. If he had taken this Orc Shaman out earlier, I think that I definitely would have been able to bring a lot, you know, I would have had a lot more issues with routing and stuff off the map. You'll see here the Rock Lobbers between him got 60 kills, and since he only had 550 units, those 60 kills are, I mean, 54 kills, sorry, are not that bad. I mean, it's 10%. I wish they would have done a little bit better, but I mean, that was I mean, they were obstructed. There was a lot of movement to be had, and luckily I was able to get a ton of the kills here with these Biggins and these Black Orcs. I mean, for their cost, these Biggins did not even cost as much as the Black Orcs, and I mean, look at how many kills they had. All of these units were just able to do a ton of damage. These Goblin Archers and Rustieres were able to, you know, support with that ranged fire, and overall, it really helped out. You know, that I just had a really good unit composition to take on the Dwarven unit. Here we've got Grombrindle 29, the Runesmith with 25. I mean, look at that group of Longbeards had 112 kills. I mean, they must have managed to get into the group of Goblin Archers, or I mean, they did something. They definitely killed all these Warlord boys or something. Because this Longbeard had a ton of kills, 121. I mean, they outdid the Slayers. They outdid almost the entire rest. These Quarrelers, I think, were really the biggest problem he had. Besides me being able to get in there and get that cannon down, he also had those Quarrelers taken out really early. And so he just wasn't able to put the number of army losses on me that he would have liked. I want to say that was a great game to my buddy Magic Potato. You guys all give a try to Steel Faith Overhaul mod. I mean, it's a ton of fun. All these mods are just a blast, and you know, I really like to expand the scope of the game and just see all of the different things that can be done. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe below for more great online content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's Battles.